When I was working in my corporate job, I never thought, what do you want beyond climbing the ladder? Because you see, the ladder can be a trap. I was lucky. I had amazing mentors. I had people who believed in me. I had opportunities. And I guess if I think about what my daughter and I, Simone, when we shared in a podcast, Luck versus Fortune, I actually want to do a bit of a correction of myself. I want to say I was fortunate because you see, I had gone to university and gone to grad school. I published academic papers. I had written these proposals that got me jobs. And, you know, I was a big supporter to other people, so I had earned my mentors. That said, sometimes success in itself can be a trap. And I will forever be grateful for those opportunities because it has helped me to be clear about what my value proposition is to the world. This is why I do the work as a recognition expert, because we experienced every single day when we would go and we would support teams in crisis that recognition was the gateway to higher functioning teams. Being an internal coach meant that I had the experience of working with almost all of the leaders and certainly many of the physicians to help them find when they were struggling or when they were exercising opportunities in front of them. I helped them as an internal coach to be able to access those, to be able to have better relationships, and frankly, for us mutually to be able to make the organization better. So none of those things are a bad thing. And all of those things look really good on a LinkedIn profile. But I'll tell you, it all caught up to me. It caught up to me when my son was 10 years old and my daughter was 8 and our family had a crisis. And I had to look at my life and I had to ask myself, when did you choose this life? When? Did you choose it in university? Did you choose it on your first job? Did you choose it while you switched into another industry? Did you choose it when the first opportunity was offered to you to climb that ladder? And I will tell you, I don't know when I made that choice. I just kept putting my foot in front of the other and let success find me and me find success. And because success in terms of that corporate ladder climbing is so clear, we don't often look, am I on the right ladder? We don't usually look to the left and the right and we say, are there any other ladders that are more my ladder? And you know what it turns out? My ladder for a short period of time is trying to expedite the ability for me as a mom to help one of my kids with a mental health crisis. So I had to take a few steps down the ladder. I had to go back to my roots in psychology, back to my roots in family therapy that I did in grad school. I had abandoned it to become a therapist, but it turns out it was meant to be for me all along. And all of the work that I had done and my team had done in supporting teams when they were in crisis also gave the tools to be able to climb back up that mom ladder so fast and support my child and ultimately support our family. I picked a different ladder and I didn't need to be on that ladder for very long. I could have that ladder as one of the ladders alongside a new ladder. And you know what the other ladder was? Well, spoiler alert, you already know probably. You know my path, and that is to be an entrepreneur. I like to say a womanpreneur, where I get a chance to speak and do training and do consulting with organizations around their culture and recognition so that it is a strong anchor for unrivaled cultural resilience. And it turns out that's what I had been doing on the corporate ladder. And now on another ladder, a ladder that fits me better, a ladder built by design, a ladder that I choose every day, a ladder that I choose when there is an economic downturn or a pandemic that crashes my business and I have to choose, am I still on this ladder? Because there are easier ladders. There are ladders with a paycheck, there are ladders with benefits, there are ladders that seem like it is the obvious choice to almost everybody else in the world. There's a ladder probably my parents would rather me be on, and I still choose this ladder. At times it feels rickety and I need to rebuild it as I am walking on it. At times it feels like I've accelerated a few extra rungs in that ladder, but here's the point of this ladder. A ladder that I choose by design, and me encouraging you to choose a ladder by your design, is that you can keep making your own ladder stronger. Now, your ladder will be different than my ladder. Maybe, in fact, climbing the corporate ladder in a traditional sense is exactly your ladder. You get joy from it. You are empowered through it. You have great colleagues. You have an amazing person you report to. You are a great person, perhaps, that other people report to. That's your ladder. Own your ladder. Here's how I know a lot of us aren't owning our ladder. Disengagement. 30% of people, according to Gallup's most recent study, are engaged. People aren't on their ladder by design. No matter what your ladder is, you deserve to ask yourself, what ladder do I want to be on? Do I want to be on this ladder but in another company? Do I want to be on this ladder but in another role? Do I want to be on this ladder but I want to walk a few steps down because all this responsibility doesn't fit who I am or my lifestyle or what my joy is? Do I want to be on this ladder, but I want a parallel ladder? One that allows me to go back to school and grow and develop. Maybe you want to get a totally different designation to be able to switch ladders, maybe the same spot on your ladder, but in a different industry. Maybe you want to go back to school so that you can expedite your ability to climb that ladder to exactly the role, exactly the place in your organization, exactly the place in the industry that you want. And maybe your ladder doesn't have to change much, but you want a little tiny ladder to the side, such as volunteering in your association, in your community. Maybe you want to be part of a community within your organization, such as an LGBTQ or quality health and safety. Maybe there's a mission you have to do that allows you to feel re-engaged. The point is, my friends, so many of us are on a work ladder that we did not choose, and somehow we're on it. My elevation, awareness, awakening, insight, call it what you will, was when we had an external crisis fall at our feet. And it was, in my opinion, the only way to get through that was to choose another ladder. And I can't imagine, in fact, my kids will say to this day, I can't imagine what would have happened to us. When I say us, a family, us, and us as individuals, if I didn't choose a different ladder. Because you see, sometimes your choice about your career and building it by design and letting the world tell you that you are on the wrong ladder, or let the world tell you you deserve to be higher on that ladder, or letting the world tell you, sister, brother, friend, choose your ladder by design because this, where you're at right now, is not working for you. Listen to that. Build your career by design. And you know what? Part of that is all the other work you're doing. Whether you define yourself as he, him, she, her, they, them, choose the ladder that also allows you to be who you are. A ladder that deserves you and every part of you. Because unless you're able to bring every part of you to whichever ladder you are on, you're on the wrong ladder. So let the external world tell you and listen to yourself. Listen to your gut. You deserve to be on the right ladder. And it's never too late to change.